Chitresh, and if anything is left, we can carry over to the next session. The issue is that we have to have an in-depth discussion. So generally we plan for single session, but it generally stretches to two sessions.
हाँ,
Not an issue, not an
कभी
issue.
स्पिल ओवर हो जाता है.
मैं तो अरूप भाई से यही कह रहा था. मैंने कहा इट्स वेरी थ्योरेटिकल सेशन व्हिच यू हैव गिवन टू मी एक्चुअली
नहीं, वो एक थियोरेटिकल सेशन में ही 2 घंटे लग जाते हैं.
I was just wondering what to speak on this.
So good morning everyone and welcome to yet another session of SMS. Sorry for my voice. So the thing is that we have Chitresh ji with us today, who is volunteered to take this session on accounts and records under GST. As you can see in the last session which Myler ji had taken, these are the topics which are very less spoken, very less discussed in the different forums for GST. So, but we as a faculty group, we have taken the decision that we'll go through each and every section and go in depth. So may I now request Arpit Haldia ji to kindly introduce our speaker for the day.
Thank you, Arupji, and it's my honor to introduce Chitresh ji, who happens to be my Facebook friend also. And as we know that GST has outstretched our connect from beyond the states. So we connected in the pre-GST regime because he was an extensive speaker on the GST and service tax. So we connected on there at that time. So Chitresh ji is a FCA, LLB and BCom honors. He had completed his graduation from Delhi University and is presently a member of Indirect Taxation Committee of PhD Chamber of Commerce. He is a senior partner in Mr. Chitresh Gupta and Associates and has worked extensively over past 24 years. And as I have discussed, that he was extensively into service tax in pre-GST regime and now in GST, not to say the least. And he is a regular faculty at NASIN and Apex Institute of Government of India. He has authored various books on goods and service tax, namely an insight into goods and service tax, 2 editions, and white paper on GST law, GST and GST law analysis and procedure, which has now 10 editions published till now, and has been a regular speaker on various forums. And as I have said that we have a association of last 10 years, and many of the participants who all are in extensive GST is already knowing Chitresh ji. So Chitresh ji, you are you don't need any introduction, but just to complete the formality, I have spoken about you. Handing over the session to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Arpit ji, for the nice introduction. So, first of all, thank you, Arup bhai and other team members for inviting me for this. I should rather call it GST discussion on accounts and records, because all of you are a learned professional and already practicing in GST and maybe knowing the section and other details also. So I'll be initiating the discussion, and it is open for you to discuss, and we can have the worthful discussion. I may not be able to reply your all of the questions. Here the purpose is to discuss the section in detail. So
Chitresh ji, just take 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So Annapurna ma'am, are you there, ma'am?
Yeah, Chitresh sir. Yeah,
ma'am, actually, because of my voice, maybe I'll not be able to coordinate. So I would request you to coordinate today if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Chitresh ji.
Yeah. So, sir, if I think English and Hindi both are comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you talk about the provision related to accounts and records, we have section 35, 36, and these section has been made applicable to IGST Act and UTGST Act also. And if I talk about the rules, we have 3 rules: Rule 56, 57, and 58, which deals with the accounts and records. So, this is the legal framework. But I have when I was going through the provisions, so I have seen many words are being used interchangeably in the GST law. Like at many places you will find accounts, at many places you will find the word records and register, then document, then books of account. So in the GST law, some of these words has been defined and some of these words has not been defined. And if you refer to the section 35, section 35 only names name the records which are specifically mentioned in the section 35, which are required to be maintained by the registered person or unregistered person. So this is just to give you some food for thought. The term books account has not been used in section 35, but it has been used in many other places in the GST law. Further, the word document has been used at various places and has been defined. Accounts is not defined, record is not defined, and registers are also not defined. So this is a books of account. If I talk about the term books of account, the books of account has been defined under the Income Tax Act, Companies Act. I am not going into the definition which is given under the Income Tax Act and the Companies Act, but it is not defined under the GST law. But in my view, the term books of account is a broader term and it may cover many more things as compared to the word document or accounts or registers. So sir, if we see the framework of section 35, section 35 has 6 subsections. Section 35 subsection talks about the records to be maintained by all registered person. So you have to be registered for maintaining the record under subsection 1. Then there is subsection 2, which deals with the records to be maintained irrespective of registration. Whether you are registered or not, you are required to maintain certain records under GST, like by owner or operator of warehouse, godown, and every transporter. Then if I talk about subsection 35, 35 subsection 3, the commissioner has the power to specify taxable person to maintain additional accounts or records. But till date, no records has been specified by the commissioner. Similarly, under subsection 4 of section 35, the commissioner has the power to give relaxation in maintenance of accounts. And by exercising this power, the commissioner has actually given certain relaxation in maintenance of books of account at additional place of business by principal and auctioneer. And 2 circulars has been issued in this behalf by the commissioner. Then earlier we were having subsection 5 also, which is related to GST audit by the professionals. Now this subsection has been omitted, and I will not be dealing about this subsection. Then we have section 35 subsection 6, which deals with determination of tax payable on goods or services not accounted for. If you have certain goods and services which are not accounted for, then in this case, the subsection 6 prescribes certain penalties and how that will be dealt with. Then if I talk about the relevant rule, I'm just giving the snapshot first, then I'll go into the detail in the subsequent slides. So if I talk about the rule 56, which deals with the maintenance of accounts or records, then this rule is divided into various sub-rules, and I try to just summarize the sub-rules. The first is the accounts and record which are to be maintained by all registered person. Then we have certain rule which deals with registered person, the accounts to be maintained by registered person except composition taxpayers. Then there are certain additional records which are to be maintained by specified registered person like manufacturers, service providers, work contractors. Then principal of job worker. Principal of job worker is required to maintain certain records not under section 35, but section 143 subsection 2. Then there are certain cases in which records are to be maintained irrespective of registration, like in case of agents, clearing and forwarding agent, owner operator of storage facility, and transporter. So sir, if I talk about section 35, this section 35 says every registered person shall keep and maintain at his principal place of business, as mentioned in certificate of registration, a true and correct account of. So first of all, sir, this section uses the word registered person. So meaning thereby you have to be registered under GST law for maintenance of accounts under section 35 subsection 1. An account has to be kept at his principal place of business. So principal place of business has also been defined under the GST law. So I'll be coming to that in the subsequent slide. And it says a true and correct account of. So here also, as I discussed in the previous slide, the word books of account has not been used. So what the registered person required to maintain a true and correct account of following A to F: production or manufacture of goods, inward or outward supply of goods or services or both, stock of goods, input tax credit availed, output tax payable and paid, and such other particulars as may be prescribed. Prescribed means prescribed by the rules. So registered person is also defined under the GST law. Registered person means a person who is registered under section 25 but does not include a person having unique identity number. So section 25 mein there can be basically three type of registration. The registration can be turnover based, there can be compulsory registration. In certain cases you are required to have compulsory registration, and if you are not required to have voluntary turnover based registration, compulsory registration, then you can also have the voluntary registration. If you have taken the voluntary registration also, in that case also you are a registered person and you will be covered by section 35 subsection 1. Then let us discuss the definition of place of business. So principal place of business has been defined. First discuss principal place of business. Principal place of business means the place of business specified as principal place of business in the certificate of registration. Meaning thereby जो भी आपका address as a principal place of business specified in certificate of registration, वो आपका principal माना जाएगा. Then the Act also defines the term place of business. So place of business includes a place from the business is ordinary carried on. कहाँ से वो normally business कर रहा है, and includes a warehouse, a godown or any other place where a taxable person stores his goods. जहाँ पर भी वो storage करता है, that is also be considered as place of business, or supplies or receive goods or services or both. जहाँ से वो supply कर रहा है या goods receive कर रहा है, वो भी place of business में count होगा. A place where a taxable person maintains his books of account. तो जहां पर उन्होंने books of account रखी है, that is also a place of business. Now the question here may come, what is the books of account? So again the term books of account has not been defined, but the term books of account has been used in clause B. Then clause C, a place where a taxable person engage in business through an agent by whatever name called. Then more than one place of business. If the suppose company is having multiple branches, one is Delhi, one in Gujarat, one in West Bengal, then where the records are to be maintained. So there is a proviso in section 35 subsection 1 which says where more than one place of business is specified in certificate. Sorry, it is talking about the same in the same registration if you have additional place of business. So in that case, the accounts related to each place of business shall be kept as such place of business. Like in Delhi, suppose you have one office in suppose Connaught Place and another office in suppose Lakshmi Nagar. In that case, the records related to both the offices are required to be kept at each place. Then maintenance of accounts by maintain accounts and records by all registered person. So sir, if you have any query in section 35 subsection 1 till date, we can discuss that. Arupji, would you like to discuss something in section?
Yeah, I think Chitraji, one common question that is coming here, though that is very funny, at the time of registration when we are applying, the question is coming that whether you will maintain your books of accounts here or not. Say you are a person registered in the state of Delhi and now you are taking an additional, say you are registering yourself in West Bengal, you have applied for a registration, you are doing work with one of the e-commerce operators, and the question they are asking is whether you will maintain your books of accounts here or not. So does the rule envisage that this maintenance of books of accounts be made in one state and be remotely accessible in other states? So what is your view on that?
I'm not able to understand question properly.
So, sir, you are registered in Delhi, and now you are opening another branch in Kolkata.
Okay, different state.
Yeah, different state, and you are only a e-commerce operator. You work with only e-commerce operator like Flipkart and Myntra and all these things. Okay, so now you are maintaining your tally only in Delhi only.
Hmm.
not in the other states. So while
Hmm.
you have applied for your GST registration in West Bengal, the
Hmm.
GST registration authority is asking where will you maintain your accounts, whether you will maintain your accounts in West Bengal or not, and show us the accounts at the time of physical verification.
Hmm.
So is that legally tenable? Can I maintain a books of accounts centrally in Delhi for all the states across India?
No, actually, you can maintain the account centrally, in my view, but the access of Tally should be available in Calcutta. There is no issue in maintenance of account. You can maintain the account centrally, but the view of those accounts should be available in Calcutta. And if it is being desired by authorities, you should be able to demonstrate that these are the accounts.
Yeah, but in Kolkata, actually, the view that is being taken is that we have to have physical books of accounts in Kolkata, and because of this,
No, sir.
many commerce
देखिए,
operators are
in
not
the
being through.
नहीं, Arup bhai, I may have different view
Mhm.
because in GST you can maintain the accounts in electronic form also. So physical records are not always required in GST
Right.
law. So I can have the books account maintained on cloud. So in that case, you cannot say you have to take out the printout of all the ledgers and provide at one place. Getting a point?
Yes. So
So you have the provision related to electronic records, and the records can be maintained in soft copy also. So if you have the records in soft copy and access is provided, so I think in my view that can be sufficient compliance.
So what are the views of the other members regarding this two aspects, registration and also about audit? During audit also, this problem is being faced. So
Uh,
what are the views of the other members regarding this?
Arup sir, I think there is a specific rule which sir was trying to understand, explain that. But what the rule is saying that every registered person shall keep his books of accounts at the principal place of business, and books of accounts relating to additional place of business mentioned in his certificate of registration. And such books of accounts shall include any electronic form of data stored in on any electronic device. So I think they are just trying to refer to both the aspect, I think, sir, because they are saying every registered person shall keep at his principal place of business. So principal place of business can be state-wise also, na, sir. So I think they are trying to refer state-wise where they are supposed to keep the books of accounts, as well as they can keep the books of accounts in electronic form also. So can't we say that if it is say Gujarat, I am having my centralized office in Gujarat, and I also have additional place of business in one more principal place of business in Karnataka also. So whether the books of account has to be maintained in both the states, or will it suffice only in the Karnataka state? That's what we are trying to understand, na, sir.
Yeah, because in West Bengal they are cancelling the registration only on this ground that you cannot show to
Yeah.
us the books of accounts in West Bengal.
They are trying to see that if you are able to give them that access to accounts, then they are able to consider that books of accounts are maintained.
Yes.
But basic accounts, they expect that it has to be maintained in their additional place of business. We cannot say that everything is maintained in centralized office, so there is no requirement of maintaining the books of accounts. Basic books of accounts, they expect that it should be maintained in additional place of business. That is my view on this.
नहीं, Arup bhai, I think ma'am has rightly pointed out, but if you say कि the books account can be combination of both, like you said कि there can be tally accounting which has been centralized, but there can be other document also like invoice, challan and some other document. So if you talk about the invoice and challan, these are specific to that particular location
Right.
from where the goods are supplied or from where the goods are transferred. So I believe that those should be available, and those documents may be available in the form of soft copy also, so that they can just take the printout and give it to the authorities also. Or if they want in the soft copy, they can verify in the soft copy. But
Because
as far as accounting is concerned, my view is that if you have the access to the server, yeah, if you can provide the information in the soft copy also, and you have the access from that location, so that will be a sufficient compliance.
right, because the same problem we are facing in case of audit. Multi-location units, the entire thing is being handled from Maharashtra. Now audit is happening in Odisha, Assam, and West Bengal. All the three authorities are asking, show us all the documents, And the business places in Maharashtra, they are saying we cannot share all the documents. We'll share sample invoices, sample purchasing things, and everything in sample. Now the audit officer is saying you are obligated to give us everything, all the invoice copies, all the invoices, and all other credit note, debit notes.
They can just mail it to you over email and you can show it.
No, that they're showing, but the audit officers want the physical presence. So I think what is the any other members facing such issues in audit or any other aspect in another state?
I
What's
agree,
it?
Rupda.
Yeah.
The basic requirement is the maintenance of books of account, and whether it is needs to be maintenance in a digitalized form or not, it's a very big question. You also remember in old service tax regime, when it has a scan copy of invoices, we are giving it for a refund purposes or something like that. They were not accepting. They said we need a original invoice to deface the invoices. Initial days they were defacing the invoices as well.
Right.
So whether it is a photocopy or original copy, they are not aware. And for invoice, you required to be take a credit. And I mean, they are in right in saying that ki you have to maintain a books of account pertaining to that unit at that location. Though the centralized accounting system might be in Maharashtra or any other state, but the whatever the documents, basic documents has to be kept out there, and we can't simply say. Though typically authorities are now accepting the scan copies and everything, but
Yeah.
in my view, legally we have to maintain the hard copies.
नहीं sir, इसमें देखिए you may be right to some extent, but I can add on into this. कि sir देखिए there if you see in case of e-invoicing applicable if your turnover is more than 5 crore. So in case of e-invoicing, your invoice is already registered on the invoicing portal, and more so the invoice has been generated by the system. You have the soft copy and you put the digital signature. So in case of digital signature invoice, there is no requirement of hard copy. So what I am trying to say, yes, sir pointed out there can be different scenarios also, and it can be combination of both physical and soft copy. So there cannot be one answer ki bhi if it is all available in soft copy, it will suffice, or everything has to be in the hard copy. So it depends on the case to case ki where we can justify in the soft copy and where we can justify the hard copy. But in case of accounting, I have a strong view that if the access is available and centralized accounting is done, that will be sufficient.
Chitresh sir, if we read Rule 57 Sub Rule 3, it
I'll be
says,
coming to that. I think,
no,
ma'am,
why I'm just trying to
rules
connect
I
here.
have not started actually.
No, sir. What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is like the point what you are trying to say that even they can maintain electronically. I think that is already been substantiated that even it can be maintained electronically.
Yes.
Subject to that, they should give access whenever they require that.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
you're
that's
saying.
what I'm trying to say. That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the entire objective will get lost actually.
correct.
So we
Correct.
are living in a digital era and everything is
Yes.
maintained on cloud. So
Yes.
they are
Yes,
saying
sir.
to maintain in a state. We are maintaining
Correct.
it on cloud.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Arupda, this is Gaurav from Ahmedabad. In similar scenario, in our cases, what we are doing is that the old accounts or the papers are getting archived to centralized locations. And whenever the audit is happening, we are showing them the current books of accounts are available. And if you want anything else, we shall provide you copies in scanned format. And they are accepting it across the country.
Yeah, I think that is also a good idea.
So whenever they say books of account, the currents are available. We can show them that you want anything, it's available. For all the past account is archived and we show them whenever they want, whatever they want. We normally request for samples because if they ask, we want all, we'll say that says you provide me a parking lot for a truck, we'll send you the entire truck. So they always then agree to samples.
Overview. Yeah.
So then there is Rule 56, Sub Rule 1, which talks about books of accounts, maintenance of accounts and records by all registered persons. So इसमें sir they have given certain additional documents which are to be maintained by all registered persons, like document related to import or goods or services imported or exported, then supplies attracting payment of tax on reverse charge, then relevant document including invoice, bills of supply, delivery challan, credit note, debit note, receipt vouchers, payment voucher, and refund vouchers. Then there are certain records which are related to advances which are to be maintained, like advance receipt paid, adjustment thereof, etc. Then maintenance of accounts and records by all registered person again. Then there is a section 56 section rule 56 sub rule 5, which says every registered person shall keep the particulars of names and complete address of supplier from he has received the goods or services. Then name and complete address of the person to whom he has supplied the goods or services, and the complete address of premises from where goods are stored by him, including goods stored during transit along with particular stock stored therein. तो सर यहाँ पर एक पॉइंट और भी नोट करने वाला है, जितने भी ये सबसेक्शन है, ये या सेक्शन है, दे ओनली प्रिस्क्राइब द रिकॉर्ड्स कि आपको कौन से रिकॉर्ड्स मेंटेन कर रहे हैं, बट दे कैन नॉट, दे ओनली स्पेसिफाई द रिकॉर्ड कि भाई ठीक है आपको कंप्लीट नेम एंड कंप्लीट एड्रेस बताना है, या आपको स्टॉक रिकॉर्ड रखना है, या आपको ये करना है, बट दे नेवर स्पेसिफाई द फॉर्मेट in which format you are required to make out the records. Then additional records to be maintained by registered person other than composition taxpayer. So there is a rule 56 sub rule 2 which deals with this. Stock records shall be maintained. Stock records, the registered person other than composition taxpayer shall maintain the accounts of stock in respect of goods received and supplied by him, and such accounts shall contain the particulars of opening, receipt, supply, goods lost, etc., etc. Then there is this, another subsection 4 of section 56, which says account and details of tax computation. The registered person shall keep and maintain an account containing the details of tax, including RCM payable, input tax credit await, then register, etc. Then there are certain records which are to be maintained by manufacturers or service providers. So I am not going into detail because I think these are very bookish and may not be much relevant. Like in case of manufacturer, they are required to maintain the records related to production. Then in case of supplier of services, they are also required to maintain certain records of input and input services used for provision of services. Then there are certain records which are to be maintained by registered person executing the work contract, like name and address of the person on whose behalf the work contract is executed, description, value, quantity of goods or services received for execution of work contract, etc., etc. So here may question may come, suppose if a company is executing 10 work contract, so whether the accounts are to be maintained work contract wise, or there can be a one account for all the 10 work contract which are executed in a state. So it is not very clearly coming out, but in my view, the accounts can be maintained on work contract wise basis. Then some additional records are to be maintained by agent, like particulars of authorization received by him.
For the last slide,
Yeah,
I think this is again one thing which is very important now. Because
yeah,
till now they were fighting with 1(3)B and 3(B)(2)A, so इसमें ध्यान नहीं दे रहे थे.
correct.
Now since all those things have gone, now they're getting into all the real issues. So now sometimes we are getting notices on this, that works contract you have not maintained, whether you have maintained project wise separately. So as you have rightly pointed out, even we also kind of saw that in the rule nothing is mentioned.
Correct.
Like whether it should be, because it just says that shall keep separate accounts for works contract showing this. So does it mean clubbed together? But I think Ramandeep ji is also saying that it's works contract wise. Though now we have told clients to have it works contract wise. But what is the view of the house on this basically?
Arupji, what is happening is that even in case of a different kind of work contract, GST authorities are finding that there is a lot of consumption of cement and iron, which may not be required at all. All of us know how the work contract usually works. And that is how, I mean, their focus has shifted, as you rightly pointed out now, to the actual part, how these consumptions are coming. I mean, earlier they
Yes.
were tracking through bogus bills and all, but now at least that also has been regularized. Now they are focusing on the consumption part, whether
Yes.
actually it was required or not. So this is again a new challenge which may come up in front of all of us.
Because in West Bengal, many railway contractors, they have received this notice that give us the records as per Rule 5614, showing the details for works contract wise, each work order wise. So as Ramandeep ji has rightly pointed out, what they are looking into, what they are saying is कि आपका तो सर्विस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, तो इसमें आपने सीमेंट क्यों खरीदा? So now that is again one thing. So like we are now fighting with the thing कि इसमें rule में there is nowhere mentioned that it has to be project wise. So we have a standard thing which we have maintained for all the works contract together, saying that whatever the payments have been received and whatever details expenditure have happened and all. But I think going in the long run, I think this will become a challenge now, that wherein we have to maintain works contract wise, and begin maintaining works contract wise is also a challenge, because what is happening when central procurement is happening, जहाँ पे मेरे 3 प्रोजेक्ट एक साथ चल रहे हैं और मेरा एक ही जगह से प्रोक्योरमेंट हो रहा है, मे बी इट्स कमिंग टू द सेम स्टोर, फिर स्टोर से फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है, तो इट्स बिकमिंग वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड दैट वे आल्सो.
Arupda, I think
If you go by the accounting standard and other details, they are maintaining the accounts on project work contract wise, because they sometimes they need to see the work completion also.
Yes.
So because as per the accounting standard, they need to apply the percentage completion method or something. So they allocate the cost and they have the costing.
this the rightly pointed out. In income tax also, we have to keep work connect wise, okay, and our in accounting standard also, because at the end of the day, when we are valuing work in progress, all those things, we have to keep all these. I think there cannot be any excuse, and department can ask us, and we have to provide them. I think.
No, but that is, sir, for larger contractors. I'm talking about somebody whose turnover is say 5 crores, 6 crores, or 10 crores. उनके लिए they don't do all this. They don't even show work in progress also. Sorry, they don't even show work in progress also.
But department has all the right to ask us.
That's what I'm saying. Now department is asking also. Is that right?
Shall I move forward?
Yes.
Chitresh sir,
So
one
what
point,
is the
sir.
final take on this, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir. So how are we concluding on this? Is it necessary that in every branch we have to maintain the books of accounts, or what is the final say on this?
See, the department's view is on this basically D. If you see D, 5614D, they are going with this. The details of payment received in each respect of each works contract, description utilized in the execution also. They're saying this means that it's for that particular works contract, we want to see what is the utilization. So means if you are showing in your balance sheet that your profitability is say 10%, you cannot show that you have utilized, what should I say, around 99% of the raw materials in a particular project. So they are saying that this should be project wise. So right now we have instructed, as now Chitresh has also shared about the accounting standard. Suresh sir was also saying about the completion of the project and all. So maybe even we have taken that view only, that we have to maintain it project wise only.
It's better to have project wise.
Yes.
And avoid the controls.
Chitresh sir, one more point here.
Yeah.
If you read 5613, it says you have to maintain the details, quantitative details of goods, right, in the provision of services. So you have to maintain the quantitative details of goods. Only for works contractor, they said wherever it is applicable. So my issue here is, like, we have a catering services, we have many kind of services. Are they supposed to maintain the quantitative details of goods which are used in the catering services? Because this is one of the point which we got it for the catering services, and the department is trying to raise that you have to show how much quantity you have procured to give the services of catering actually. So because I was just trying to read that provision 56 subsection subrule 13, they are relying on that, and they are trying to look into these details actually. But whereas for catering industry it is difficult. Yes sir.
मैडम, आप जो कैटरिंग सर्विसेज है, आई बिलीव कैटरिंग सर्विसेज के लिए 2 रेट हैं, एक 5% विदाउट आईटीसी एंड 18%.
Yeah.
So you are in
They are
5%
under
or
18, 18, sir. They are doing 18, sir.
so if you are in 18, I think in that case you need to maintain the details of goods, quantitative detail of goods. But if you are in 5%, so 5% rate is without ITC. So in my view, to when you are not availing any ITC, in that case you can avoid.
Okay. Okay. Here it was 18, but still they have not maintained as such, sir. So that's why I was just looking.
But
Because
ma'am,
for works
generally
contract,
it
they
is
have
being
given
maintained
exemption.
because if it is not a perishable item, then generally details are being maintained if you are procuring in bulk.
Hmm.
That may not be part of your account, but as a part of control, you may be maintaining some registers of in and out and something.
Yeah, there are various services where it is practically impossible to maintain the quantitative details even if they are eligible for credit. But only for works contract, they have given an exemption saying that wherever applicable. But that is not there for other kind of services, sir. That is what I just would like to highlight. Yes.
Correct. If you are availing ITC, so in my view, you should maintain.
Okay.
Then these are the additional records which are to maintain by agent. Then particulars of authorization received from the principal. Then particulars including the description, value, quantity, wherever applicable of goods or service received on behalf of the principal. Then particulars including description, value, quantity of goods or services supplied on behalf of the principal. Then details of account furnished to every principal and tax paid on receipt or supply of the goods or services. So in my view, these are the general account. Whatever agent is doing, कितना goods होते हैं उसके principal के behalf पे supply करा, कितना उसने receive करा और जो भी उसने statement वगैरह दी उसको, those should be maintained. And on those goods, if any taxes being paid, then those details should also be maintained. I don't think anything technical in this. Then accounts and document to be not to be raised or effaced or overwritten. So this is a normal rule which they have given. I think they have it is based on the old school of thought that everything is maintained on the physical registers and entries are being made manually and then it may be overwritten and these things. So I think it is not more relevant now. Now another rule is each volume to be serially numbered. So again, this rule assumes that you are maintaining the manual books, and if
Chitresh
there
sir,
are more than books, then you
Chitresh
can.
sir, Chitresh
Yes,
sir,
sir.
there is one important point here.
Yeah.
In 56.8,
Hmm.
where the register and other documents are maintained electronically, a log of every entry edited or deleted shall be maintained. This is very risky. Actually, in companies that
Yes.
they have
Yes.
this audit log. So I think it is the
Yes.
same audit log here. So that is very risky, sir.
Sir, you rightly pointed out, and thanks for correcting me. So logs needs to be maintained, but if you see in case of Companies Act, this provision has been already been implemented. In case of companies, when the auditor issues the audit report, in that case, in the audit report, one of the point the auditor is required to mention is that there is a accounting software which record the log of the alteration of the entries. If I am not wrong.
You are absolutely right. But my point is that if we give them access to our this accounts, online accounts or cloud accounts, I think they have not raised this point audit. I've not heard any like that. But
सर अभी क्या है उनको प्रोविजन का पता ही नहीं है
उनको
कि
अगर पता लग जाएगा तो इट इज वेरी डेंजरस
सर देखो पहली चीज तो ये है कि अगर मैं ऑडिट करा रहा हूँ या आप ऑडिट करा रहे हैं you should not be giving access to your accounts. ये तो तभी होगा कि सर्च एंड सीजर हो गया, उसने आपका पूरा सॉफ्टवेयर वो ले गए और फिर वहां पर वो चेक कर रहे हैं, फिर आपने एक्सेस दिया. तो that can be this case. In case of normal GST audits or normal GST queries or something, nobody gives the access because we don't want to give the data in soft copies because they can do so many permutation combination. I always prefer to give the document in hard copy or some PDF format.
But sir, this rule is really is challenge for us. Tomorrow, I think, because I think they will, what they will do, they can just, I think, impose us a general penalty only if we don't do like that. Okay. Because if we don't keep the record of log, editing log, they can just, I think, penalize us to 25,000 penalty only. But what more they can do, sir?
So they can definitely, there can be some penalty regarding this. I think 10,000 rupees penalty can be there, 10 or 20,000 rupees, because if they want to invoke the larger penalty, then they must have to say you have evaded. They need to quantify the tax, what tax has been evaded. So then it can be up to the amount of tax evaded. But I think Abhi, they are not into up to this stage actually.
Sir, one more risky rule is sub rule 15. Sub rule 15 says the record maintained lactiforum shall be authenticated by means of digital signature. I have not been able to understand this point.
सुरेश सर, हम लोग तो जा रहे हैं, उसमें आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, चित्रेश सर लेके जा रहे हैं, तो उसमें जाते हैं 56-15 में.
हाँ, that I'll be coming to you.
Yeah.
Chitresh sir, just want to tell you that recently I've been invited to a NASEN audit and to speak upon, and I am surprised to see that one of the topic to which this audit team was discussing is how we can use CARO, IFC reports, notes to account to detect some of the issues in the audit itself. So now I think they are preparing themselves also to get ideas relating to accounts where are the fishy issues can be detected, or things can be seen directly. They are preparing well. CARO report, IFC report, notes to account, everything they are, tax audit report, 3CD. So they are gearing up, sir.
You are very right, Ramandeep bhai. I am a regular speaker at NASEN also, and it is not this time. For so many years from the excise era and service tax era, these kind of trainings are being organized for these officers. So this is not new in GST actually. There are many trainings which they organize how to relate financial accounts with GST, with service tax or something. So this is not new. These kind of trainings are regular in NASEN. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
मैं कह रहा हूँ these kind of trainings are very regular, and this is not not new thing. This also been done in the service tax and excise also.
Yes, I'm aware, sir. But point is that the kind of reporting requirement has increased nowadays in the CARO, even in the IFC, and it has been increasing tremendously day by day in the reporting pattern. Though I understand that all of us do not do much of the audit part, but still, as far as I know, there's been continuous increase in the requirements in audit reporting in the audit report.
Sir, आपको पता है, लेकिन क्या है, कितनी इंफॉर्मेशन बल्कि होती है, इन लोगों को जो है नॉर्मल ऑडिट तो करना आता नहीं है. आई एम सॉरी टू से, but they don't know how to do the regular audit. It's very difficult for them to understand the financial statement actually.
True, sir. True. Difficult.
अगर आप इंडियस की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट देख लें, वो तो एक, आई शुड नॉट बी सेइंग, बट इट्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि fair market value or something, so many things come up and so many disclosure which are very confusing.
Sir, can I ask one point, sir, here?
Yeah.
One of the definition of place of business you have said, where the books of accounts are maintained. So in few of our CA offices, we are maintaining the books of accounts of our taxpayers. So can we consider that as a place of business, or it is only an authorization? We are maintaining that books of accounts. So how are we going to read that place of business? Because where the books of accounts are maintained. So everything
books of accounts are maintained, you are required to, that will be treated as place of business now.
Okay, so even that CA office where we are maintaining in our office, we are maintaining from the invoice recording till the finalization. So is it our place of business also will be maintained, sir, as an additional place of business?
You have raised a very good question actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens ki at a CA office, the books of account related to some clients are also maintained.
Yes.
So in that case, what will happen? Whether the CA office needs to be registered, that will be considered as place of business of that client.
Yeah, that is the question, sir.
So
Bas-
that is the issue
Yeah.
which is being there. So generally, we should not be saying it is being maintained at our place. It is maintained at the SSC's location only.
Sir,
Otherwise,
actually,
definitely it can be considered as place of business as per the definition.
legally also, I think books of accounts are required to be kept in the place of business only. Okay. Legally, we can't keep the books of accounts somewhere else in CE office or somewhere else. Legally,
Sir.
and they have just expanded the definition of place of business for themselves. If in case it is maintained in some other office, that office also will come into the ambit of place of business. I think that is the point. So we should resist these things, है ना?
सर ने बिल्कुल ठीक बोला. मैं इसमें थोड़ा सा और आपको एड ऑन करता हूँ, जो कि मुझे एकदम से क्लिक हुआ कि अगर आप कंपनी लॉ देखें तो एज पर माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग जहां पर आपकी बुक्स अकाउंट मेंटेन्ड है वो एड्रेस भी आपको डिक्लेयर करना पड़ता है एमसीए में.
Even in the tax audit report, it is required to declare
Yes.
that
So,
wherever what type of books are maintained and what place.
हाँ तो in my view this is an issue. So ideally we cannot say कि भाई it is being maintained at the CA office. So it should be maintained at the address of the assessee only, taxpayer only.
Okay.
Then records in electronic form. This we have already discussed. Records may be maintained in electronic form, and the records of maintained shall be authenticated by means of digital signature. So one question which was coming, the records so maintained shall be authenticated by digital signature. I think this rule itself is not very clear because first of all the record is not defined. What is the term record? And there are so many records कि भी जो आपने रजिस्टर मेंटेन करे या जो आपकी इनवॉइसेज हैं, चालान है या और भी आपके रजिस्टर हो सकते हैं, तो सब में आपके डिजिटल सिग्नेचर कैसे लगेंगे? तो आई डोंट नो प्रैक्टिकली इसमें कैसे होगा, बट yes, wherever specifically required, like in case of e-invoicing, digital signature is required, or in some other cases where digital signature is required, those are being put it by the taxpayers. But in case of normal maintenance of books of account, the signature are not digital signature are not put it by the person or taxpayer. Then the rule 18, every registered person shall on demand produce the books of account which he is required to maintain under any law for the time being in force. So, sir, this is very important rule. Here is say required to produce the books of account. First of all, the word books of account has not been defined as already said. Then it says which is required to maintain under any law for the time in force. Meaning thereby ऐसा नहीं है कि जो जीएसटी लॉ में वो मेंटेन कर रहा है उसको वही प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं. तो अगर जीएसटी ऑफिसर ने जो है डॉक्यूमेंट मांगे जो किसी और लॉ में मेंटेन करने हैं तो वो भी आपको प्रोड्यूस करने पड़ेंगे. तो there is another section which is section 71 subsection 2 which says that every person in charge of place shall on demand make available to the officer authorized or audit party deputed by proper officer or cost accountant, chartered accountant nominated under section 66 will deal with special audit as the case may be such records as prepared or maintained by registered person. So in my view these are the records as prepared or maintained by the registered person under section 35 of the CGST Act or any other section if it is required separately by that section. Then trial balance or its equivalent. So here the word is its equivalent is also used. It is not that you have to maintain the trial balance for each and every location. If some document which is equivalent to trial balance is available, that will also be sufficient. Then annual financial account duly audited and wherever required. तो audited annual audited financial statements भी आपको मांग सकता है. तो अगेन यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि भाई इन केसों में मल्टी लोकेशनल कंपनी की उसका दिल्ली में भी ऑफिस है, गुजरात में भी, वेस्ट बंगाल में भी है, तो एक ऑडिटेड फाइनेंशियल अकाउंट्स हैं, हमारे जो है लोकेशन वाइज ब्रांच वाइज ऑडिटेड फाइनेंशियल अकाउंट्स नहीं है, तो इस केस में आप कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ही देंगे जो ऑडिटेड है. They cannot ask for the financial statement which is branch wise. Then cost audit report, if any, if it is required under the Companies Act, then income tax audit report, again it is prepared on consolidated basis at the PAN level. Then any other relevant record for scrutiny of the officer, audit party or C or CM. So sir, in my view, here also the authorities, while doing the audit or any other investigation on something, they can ask for the record which are required to be maintained by the taxpayer either under section 35 or any other provision of the GST law, or any other books of account which he is required to maintain any other law for the timing force, whether it is Income Tax Act, Companies Act, or some any other law. If there is something which is not required to be maintained under the GST law or in any other law for the timing in force, in that case, they cannot ask for that document or that record. Then maintenance of records by owner or operator of godown or warehouse. So it is section 35 subsection 2. Every owner or operator of warehouse or godown or any other place used for storage of goods, and every transporter, irrespective of whether he is registered or not, shall maintain records of consignor, consignee, or any other relevant details of the goods in such manner as may be prescribed. So it is prescribed under section 58. So rule 58. So as per rule 58, every person required to maintain records, if not already registered under the act, meaning thereby वो registered नहीं है, unregistered है, shall submit the details regarding his business electronically on common portal in form ENR 01, and upon validation of the detail furnished, a unique enrollment number will be generated and communicated. So meaning thereby, as many of us may be already aware कि अगर transporter है और वो registered नहीं है, तो उसको एक ENR 01 फॉर्म जो है ई वे बिल पोर्टल की साइट पे भरना पड़ता है, उसको एक इनरोलमेंट नंबर लेना पड़ता है. देन अगर वो जो है ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर्ड है ट्रांसपोर्टर और जो है उसके काफी सारे रजिस्ट्रेशन है अंडर डिफरेंट स्टेट्स, तो इन दैट केस दैट ट्रांसपोर्टर मे अप्लाई फॉर द यूनिक कॉमन एनरोलमेंट नंबर by submitting the details in form ENR 02 using any one of the GSTIN, and the common enrollment number will be allotted to him. And where he has obtained the unique common enrollment number, in that case that transporter will not be eligible to use any of the GSTIN for the purpose of generation of e-way bill rules. Meaning thereby जब वो e-way bill generate करेगा तो आप उसको जो है यूनिक कॉमन एनरोलमेंट नंबर ही यूज करना है, वो कोई और GST नंबर यूज नहीं कर पाएगा. Then the person enrolled in any other state or union territory shall be deemed to be enrolled in the state or यूनियन टेरिटरी. अगर आपने एनरोलमेंट नंबर ले लिया है तो आपको हर स्टेट में सेपरेट लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप उसी को यूज कर सकते हैं. देन एवरी पर्सन हु इज एनरोल्ड shall wherever required shall amend the detail. It is general कि अगर आपने कोई इंफॉर्मेशन ENR 101 में दे दी थी, बाद में चेंज हो गई है, तो you can definitely change it and make that detail amended. Then these are the general records which are to be maintained by the person transporting the goods, like GSTIN of the registered consignor, consignee for each of his branch. Basically क्या है, जो भी वो goods transport कर रहा है उसकी डिटेल उसको मेंटेन करनी है कि भाई goods transport क्या हुआ, डिलीवर क्या हुआ, और goods कितना ट्रांजिट में है, और कंसाइनर कंसाइनी का रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर वगैरह क्या है. Then every owner operator of warehouse or godown shall maintain books account with respect to period for which the particular goods remain in warehouse, including the particular relating to dispatch, movement, receipt, and disposal of such goods. So these are very general actually. Agar suppose if you
Sir,
think in
Chitresh
a
sir,
practical way,
Chitresh
sir,
sir, can you spare 2 minutes for rule 5615 the DSC वाला, क्योंकि अभी सिर्फ रह गए 5 मिनट, तो can you share
sir,
your thought on
56,
that? 15 sir, 15.
can you read out the rule? I need to check
Yes,
it out.
yes. I will read. The records under the provisions of this chapter may be maintained in electronic form, and the records so maintained shall be authenticated by means of a digital signature. This
सर
one.
ये मैंने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया था. आई थिंक देर इज ए इशू इन दिस रूल, जो कि क्या है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल the rules say records may be maintained in electronic form. First of all, the records has not been defined under the GST law. First thing. So they say कि it can be maintained in electronic form. Second, records so maintained shall be authenticated by means of digital signature. तो अब ये authenticate कैसे होंगे? That is a big question. Reason being, in today's scenario, if I say कि suppose I'll take example of stock records. Stock records are maybe maintained in SAP, Tally, or some cloud software. So stock records are running records which are being maintained in the software. You are not taking the printout and then putting the digital signature on that software. So how this rule will work?
I think इसका सबसे आसान तरीका ये है, इसका समझने का तरीका यही है कि whenever we give them anything out of these, it should be digitally signed. That can be one interpretation of this rule.
नहीं सर, you may be right, but उसने ये तो कहा नहीं ना, when we are submitting to the authority. Definitely when we are submitting to the authority, in that case you need to basically sign it as it is a true and correct account of you are giving the correct particular, you always need to sign it.
But you are very much right, sir. जो हमारे रनिंग रिकॉर्ड उसको DSC कैसे लगेगा, वो नहीं हो सकता ना.
So that's what I am saying कि actually what happened when they framed the GST law, they have done so many copy and paste from here and there. So it is, I think, is one of the item of copy and paste which they have not thought it how practically it will be done.
So what is the opinion of the House regarding this? I think it's not practically possible. Huh?
It's not practically possible. That's what I am saying to you. But many records are already being authenticated. If you take example of invoice is already signed. If you take example of financial statement, these are already signed by the respective persons. So many records are already signed. But which record they are talking about and whether they are maintained on cloud or not, or how they are maintained. So it's a general, they have just indicated, and it may not be feasible in a practical scenario. And I have not till date come across any of the situation where they say it needs to be authenticated by digital signature.
Sir, one query here. We have discussed already, we took a stand. Chitresh sir also clarified with respect to additional place of business. So maintenance of accounts and records in additional place of business. So we took a stand that if it is maintained in cloud, so in terms of the rules that must be accepted. And as far as the supporting documents are concerned, the Chitresh sir clarified that even most of them are digitally signed. But most of the vendors who may not be under e-invoicing threshold, and they would have given physical copies of invoice. So can we interpret this sub-rule 15 in such a way that when I maintain the scanned copies of all the invoices, my purchase and expense invoices with respect to that additional place of business, and that entire scanned copies are authorized by the digital signature of the registered person of that particular additional place of business. So for that purpose, is this sub-rule 15 applicable? May be discussed, sir.
Sir, you may be right, but it is not practicable actually. It is not practicable because digital signature is also
additional place of No, with respect to additional place of business, what stand we took a while ago is that even the accounts and records can be maintained in cloud, which are maintained in cloud, would be suffice. So in that case, it is not possible for if it is not possible for maintain physical copies of all the vendor invoices. So when they are also maintained in cloud, so when my entire scanned copies are digitally signed by, but of course, the records are not defined per se. So when I equate the meaning of records with accounting records, so all the bills, vouchers, everything with respect to the additional place of business, when they are kept in cloud, and those vendor invoices which are not subject to e-invoice are not digitally signed by the person who has already given the invoice, supplier. So in that case, if the registered person digitally signs those invoices, so for that purpose, this sub-rule 15 is applicable.
Yeah, I think, yeah, now maybe that could be one of the options, that when you're uploading or storing the data and the records, maybe then you are authenticating it with your digital signature. Now, so there are many softwares which help you to do bulk digital
Correct.
signature of 300, 400 documents. So maybe
Correct.
that could be one of the options.
Yes.
But Chitresh-ji, I think the time is a limiting factor here. So, अभी 10 बज गए. So I would request you to just give your concluding remarks maybe on this. As I told, आप बोल रहे थे कि टाइम, मतलब हम यही बोल रहे थे कि यहाँ पे SMS में अपना यही होता है, टाइम कम पड़ जाता है हर चीज का.
देखिए, मेरा व्यू तो इसमें ये है कि दिस रूल इज नॉट प्रॉपर्ली ड्राफ्टेड एंड it is not practically feasible to put the digital signature on every document, because sometimes the digital signature is also secret. Actually, it is not required it is not allowed to be fixed by every person. And moreover, if you see in a SAP scenario, in some other software scenario, there is a approval process which is already there in the system actually. And it is very difficult for the staff to put your signature on each and every document, and you may not like it because it is prone to misuse also. कि कहाँ किसने कहाँ लगा दिया, कल को पता लगा कि आपके डिजिटल ऐसे डॉक्यूमेंट पे लग गए, आप कहोगे मैं तो लगा ही नहीं है, क्या हो गया. तो आई थिंक इट इज नॉट प्रैक्टिकली फिजिबल. तो वी शुड नॉट बी so strictly interpreting this rule. I think let stick to the general thing कि भी ठीक है, क्लाउड पे अवेलेबल है तो इट्स फाइन. अगर ठीक है वो मुझसे फिजिकल मांगता है तो आई साइन इट एंड गिव इट टू हिम. तो मेरे हिसाब से अभी इसको इतनी डिटेल में नहीं जाते, अदरवाइज क्या है, इट विल क्रिएट द प्रॉब्लम फॉर अस एक्चुअली.
So thank you very much. I think it was indeed a pleasure to listen to you. We have been waiting, I think, and thanks to all the participants for joining in from across India. And this is the beauty of SMS, that we come up with so many new discussions, new debates. So we'll continue the discussion forward. And in the next session, 2nd August, I think we'll have a continuation of the past session, whichever is left on David notes. And on 9th August, we'll be taking up section 36. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to Chitresh-ji once again, and looking forward to meeting all of you on next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.